What's up, guys? My name is Jerry, and today's video is going to be on the Minnesota Timberwolves. We're going to be talking about how they are the NBA's next breakout team, and we're going to jump right into the video. Now, the Timberwolves are coming off a pretty solid season, and I think it all started in the playoffs for this team. We look at what they were able to do this postseason, beating the Clippers to clinch a spot in the playoffs. We saw how emotional that was for the entire franchise, and then also they had themselves a dogfight with the Memphis Grizzlies, and I think they were in prime position to win that series, and they couldn't get the job done. But nonetheless, it was still a great learning experience for this young team, and I think that playoff berth could be a turning point for the Minnesota Timberwolves. And looking at the roster, I think they have a talent level to be one of the best teams in their conference next season. And I think it all starts with their big three, and that big three consists of Anthony Edwards, Karl-Anthony Towns, and D'Angelo Russell. And I think these three guys together still have a lot of potential because they're all so young, and I still think they have room to improve. But we look at the age of these guys. Ant-Man is just 20 years of age, and then D'Angelo Russell and Karl-Anthony Towns are both 26. So I think they still walks onto an NBA court. He feels like he is the best player out there, and he has the game to back it up. Anthony Edwards, he's coming off this season averaging 21 points per game, and then the playoffs, you gotta love it when one of your best players can up his level of play when the postseason starts. During the playoffs, Anthony Edwards was able to increase his points per game to 25, but he's becoming a legit three-level scorer in this league already, and that's another thing you have to love about Anthony Edwards. He's working on his game. Coming into the draft, one of the biggest questions about Anthony Edwards was he going to be able to shoot the three ball. If you watched him this season, if you watched him in the postseason, you don't see players daring him to shoot. You don't see nobody sagging off of him. And when he was taking those threes, he was making them. So he's been working on his game. So he has the three-point shot, catch and shoot off the dribble. He can get to the mid-range. He can run the pick and roll. And then we all know how lethal he is when he's going downhill. He can finish with both hands, or he can punch it right over you. So this is a dangerous man on offense, and he's just 20. So just imagine how much better he's going to continue to get, because we already know he has a very strong work ethic, and also he's pretty good on the defensive side of the ball. He's 6'6" with long arms, so he's automatically going to be disruptive. So I love what the Timberwolves have going with Anthony Edwards. And then we look at the big man. We look at Karl-Anthony Towns, who's one of the most skilled players in the NBA, and he's one of the most skilled big men of all time. And I think Karl-Anthony Towns, when he's focused on his A game, I think he's in that same conversation as Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic. I think he has that same type of presence on the court. And Karl-Anthony Towns, that's really all it is with him. We know every year we're going to get at least 20 points and 10 rebounds. And Cat is the type of guy that can average 25 plus and 12 plus. And I feel like at this stage of his career, as he starts to get more focused, as he starts to understand things a little bit more, I think we're going to start getting that from Cat. I think we're going to start seeing 26, 27 points per game. We're going to start seeing 12, 13 rebounds, because I think as players get older, they start to mature, and they start to understand the game a little bit more. So I expect Cat to take his game to that next level, and his skill set is off the charts, and he's your prototypical. He is what you would want in a modern day big, because he can do everything. He can play down in the post. He has the post fade. He has the post hook. He can overpower you, and then he can also step out behind the three-point line and knock down shots. He shot 39% from the three-point line this season, and he also won the three-point contest for as a big man, which is really impressive. So, and then also he has the ability to take slower bigs off the dribble. Just for an example, we saw him play Steven Adams right out of that first round series, just because he could not stay in front of Karl-Anthony Towns. So Cat, he is that dude, and I think he's gonna take his game to the next level. And then they have a pretty solid point guard in D'Angelo Russell, who averaged 18 points and 7 assists last season, and that's pretty solid. And with a team like this, you kind of want a point guard like D'Angelo Russell, because he's a guy that doesn't he can he can play on the ball and off the ball. He can hit, catch, and shoot threes. He's a very, very great decision maker, a great playmaker. Love running him, watching him run in transition with his team. And then he can score the basketball. He's also a 3-level scorer. He can shoot the 3 mid-range, score at the rim. And I know he didn't put up the best. He didn't look the best in the postseason this year, and that's really rare from D'Angelo Russell because he's a guy that rises to the occasion when in those clutch moments. So, but nonetheless, I like D'Angelo Russell, and I like this trio, and I think they're all still very young, and I still think they have a lot of room to grow individually and as a group. And then there's also some young talented players on this team as well. You have a guy like Jaden McDaniels, who's 21 years of age, and I think this guy is filled with so much potential. He has all the raw talent, he has the size, he has the length, he has the athleticism, and we continue to see his offensive game improve. His catch and shoot 3-point shooting has gotten a lot better. He's good at cutting, he's good at getting putbacks, and he's just a great finisher at the rim. And one area that Jaden McDaniels could improve on that I think will take his game to the next level is his self-shot creation. And some good news for him, and I don't know if it's really going to happen or not, but Patrick Beverley said he's going to get Kawhi Leonard to work out with Jaden McDaniels, and I think that could be so vital for a guy like Jaden McDaniels, because when you look at him and Kawhi Leonard, they kind of had the same roles when they first got into the league. When Kawhi was when he first came into the league, he was known as a defensive guy, and it's sort of the same thing with Jaden McDaniels. If he can learn some things from Kawhi Leonard, we see the elite scorer that Kawhi is now. That'll be pretty good for a guy like Jaden McDaniels. So we'll see what happens this offseason, and if he can get in the gym with the claw, that'll be amazing. But Jaden McDaniels, I think he has a pretty solid 3-point shot right now, and he's really good at playing defense. I think he's one of the more versatile defenders in this league. He's very switchable, and he's also great at blocking shots. And he's just 21, so I think the sky is the limit for him as well. Then they have other guys on this team. They have Jared Vanderbilt, who I think is going to be a very great utility player in this league. He's great at getting rebounds, and he's pretty solid on the defensive side of the ball. And if he can grow his game offensively, he'll become a really strong player in the NBA. And then they have the rookies. You have a guy like Jalen Noel, who shot the lights out from the 3-point line last season. I think he's going to continue to trend upwards from the Minnesota Timberwolves, and there's just together next season. They're going to be a pretty solid team going forward. And that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment down below if you agree or disagree, and then subscribe for more weekly content. We do this all the time, man, and that's curtains.